Earth was never supposed to matter. In a universe ruled by ancient powers and star-spanning empires, humanity was classified as insignificant, young, divided, loud, and fragile. A species from a volatile planet with unstable tectonics, violent weather, and an absurdly aggressive biosphere. Interesting, perhaps, but not threatening. That assumption would prove catastrophic. The targeting decision was made by the Pantheon Accord, a council of entities worshipped as gods by lesser civilizations. They were not myth. They were beings of immense energy, intelligence, and age, architects of stars, sculptors of reality itself. And they had chosen Earth. Humanity has exceeded its permitted expansion threshold, intoned Velith, keeper of balance. They multiply too quickly, adapt too well. They must be culled before ascension. The vote was unanimous. Across the solar system, reality trembled as God-forged constructs slipped into existence. Planets dimmed. Space itself bent as a pantheon prepared a cleansing strike, one that had erased civilizations far older and more powerful than humanity. On Earth, the warning came too late. Telescopes detected impossible objects. Physics alarm screamed. Scientists stared at data that defied natural law. They're not ships, one whispered. They're entities. Religious leaders panicked. Governments scrambled. Military stood helpless. How do you fight gods? Humanity did what it always did when faced with extinction. They argued. They panicked. They joked. Then they prepared. A global broadcast interrupted every channel. No grand speech. No prayers. Just a tired-looking woman in a plain uniform. Dr. Elena Ward, director of the Human Continuity Initiative. If you're watching this, she said calmly, then the worst-case scenario has arrived. Entities of unknown classification have entered our system. Some cultures would call them gods. She paused. We don't. Behind her, massive underground facilities came alive. Ancient bunkers, forgotten black projects, and seal vaults older than most nations powered up. Humanity's other history began to surface. The Pantheon unleashed a first strike. A spear of condensed reality slammed into Earth's magnetic field, an attack meant to crack the planet. It failed. Something pushed back. The gods hesitated. That was unexpected, Velith murmured. Earth's defenses weren't technological. They were conceptual. Humanity had never relied on raw power. Instead, they had learned to weaponize ideas, mathematics, paradoxes, probability, chaos. The planet was wrapped in layers of self-correcting systems, fail-safe designed not to win, but to endure. The second strike targeted the moon. Human countermeasures activated instantly. Gravitational anchors flared. The moon held. The Pantheon grew uneasy. Why does this species resist? Demanded Korman, god of finality. They should break. They don't break, another whispered. They adapt. Human fleets launched, not to attack, but to observe. Data streamed in. Patterns formed. Weaknesses mapped. Then humanity did something no other species had ever dared. They spoke directly to the gods. A transmission echoed across dimensions. This is Earth, Dr. Ward said. You are trespassing. The Pantheon recoiled in disbelief. You dare address us. Velith thundered. Ward's expression didn't change. You've made a mistake, she said. You think humans fear God because you've seen our myths. You don't understand why we created them. Silence. We invented gods, Ward continued, to explain what scared us. Then we learned how to outgrow them. Humanity's counterattack began, not with weapons, but with defiance. Probability field collapsed divine foresight. Human unpredictability scrambled precognitive models. The gods, accustomed to worship and submission, found themselves facing something alien, a species that questioned everything. Human strikes followed, Precision attacks that targeted the Pantheon's anchors to reality. Not killing blows. Severances. Gods found themselves cut off from their power sources, reduced, destabilized. This is impossible. Corpsman roared. They are mortals. Yes, Ward replied softly, and mortals are dangerous. The truth spread through the Pantheon like fear. Humans weren't powerful because of strength. They were powerful because they refused to accept limits. They challenged nature. They challenged fate. They challenged gods. One by one, the Pantheon withdrew. The final message came not as a threat, but a warning. Mark this system. Velith ordered. Avoid Earth. Never interfere again. The universe listened. Across the galaxy, civilizations updated their records. Humans, classification revised. Not divine, not inferior, not safe to oppose. On Earth, life went on. People returned awake. Children went to school. Scientists argued about what to call the encounter. Dr. Ward watched the stars and allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had never needed gods, because when the universe tried to erase them, they reminded it why even gods learn fear.